quarterfinals, the opening round, whatever you want to refer to it as. We got number 2, Kenmare, playing host to Trenton. It's going to be a good one here, as the opening tip brought to you by the Steffes Group. Selling land and equipment since 1960. Visit SteffesGroup.com for a full list of upcoming auctions. Brett Loftus, Jake Herman, we're happy to be with you here all day here on Beck Sports. As the Hawkers will win the first tip, moving left to right on your screen. The Tigers of Trenton will be moving right to left. Kenmare comes out quick, trigger 3, not able to get it home. And active hands early by the Tigers. That's their MO, Mr. Herman, playing defense.
That's right. Best defensive team in the district. Points could come at a real premium in this one, as both of these teams held their opponents to less than 35 per night.
Trenton coming from District 15 here in Region 8, excuse me, and on the other side for Kenmare coming from District 16. This one, the dribble drive, giving back outside to Stroker. Kenmare taking their time here on their second possession of the contest thus far. Getting it down to Stroker. She had 35 in the district championship game. Cannot convert her first 2 here this afternoon.
It's about as well as you can play in that 2-3 zone to start things off for the Tigers. Good rotations, good communication.
So now Trenton, they'll take their first hit at her on the offensive end. The 8th grader, Clary's, her first shot of the day, no good. Obviously, they want to give it to her. As an 8th grader, Coach Turcott talked about, we didn't expect this from her. 19.6 boards and 4 assists a game. She leads the team in almost every single possible stat. Is back on the other end. Miller drives down, and now she'll go to the line.
Get back to Claris. I mean, what a pleasant surprise for this Trenton team. They've got one of the stars in this region on their hands, and she got a chance to show off her skills here in front of a big crowd.
Madison Moline, at the line. She'll miss the first. Another interesting story here. Kate Zimmer playing today, Jake Herman.
Yeah, she's been limited since coming back. They're sort of postponing that surgery. Retore her ACL in the middle of January, second consecutive season. It's that left knee that Zimmer has to get repaired, but putting that off so she can give this team every last drop of her energy.
Trenton, an open shot back on the other end, as Kate Zimmer will end up with the board.
There's a calming presence to this Kenmare team with Zimmer on the floor, even when she's clearly less than 100%.
Get this one down low to Strokeland. Do some contact that time and one. So Brenna Strokeland, the 6-foot center, going to go next year and play college basketball at the University of Jamestown. Now she's going to try and convert the 3-point foot.
And she's got such a huge repertoire, so many different ways to score. Back to the basket, left hand, right hand. All summer she worked on her post moves to find even more ways to hurt defenses, as if she didn't have enough of those last year as an all-state selection.
Jake, we talk about so much the look of a college basketball player. Brenna Strokeland has that look, manning the middle here for Kenmare, a 4-0 lead for the defending Region 8 champions, actually the defending back-to-back Region 8 champions for the Hawkers. On the other side for Trenton, it's their 5th straight appearance, their 16th Region 8 appearance all time. How did they get here? Well, they beat Lewis and Clark North Shore Plaza in the first round of the District 15 conference tournament. And back on the other end, shot good there from Kenmare. They lost the partial and then they beat Alexander. They got to use a timeout as Kenmare has gotten out to a 6-0 lead here early in Williston.
At NCC, we believe that community is all about making your home a better place, whether it's by providing top-of-the-line internet, phone, and video services, or offering scholarships for local students. We're proud to invest in the communities that invest in us.
I think when you have organizations within the community such as NCC that are willing to put resources back into the community, it just helps with growth. Without communities, there would be no NCC.
I'm being hacked. My phone's been locked from ransomware. Seriously!
What are all these pop-ups?
This is so frustrating.
We're under attack! Someone please help me! Download the MyRTCnet app today.
Region 8 Girls Basketball Tournament here on Beck Sports, presented to you by Dakota Bank. Dakota Bank is here for you. Peterson Farm Seed, the premier soybean and corn seed provider for Minnesota and North Dakota, as well as for Bears. 6-0 here, the Hawkers of Kenmare. Bowbells lead the number 2 ranked team in the state, according to the new rankings that came out last night. Coming in at 20-2 here this afternoon. 14-8 come in the Tigers of Trenton. First round and elimination game here in the Region 8 tournament. We got 4 of them here today. There's a steal, back up ball for it. In transition, not able to get that one to fall, but an offensive board here for the Hawkers. Back outside. That one almost touched the ceiling, and another offensive board, that time from Strokeland. They'll try their hand at the tray ball again, and that time it's good. Madison Moline from downtown.
Yeah, you just can't give this Kenmare team 3 looks. Nice job by Strokeland to grab the board and realize that those perimeter players were wide open.
And obviously, Jake, the Tigers' MO is their defense, but they got to get started here on offense. Almost 3.5 minutes starting scoreless here in this contest.
Yeah, you're right, Brett. It's been the Kenmare defense, I think, that sparked their offense in this one. Trenton's got to take care of the ball and create some better looks.
Tigers another deep run into the shot clock. Larry's trying to get down through the lane. They'll say she lost it. That one went off of her. It'll be Kenmare basketball. For Kenmare, 8-game winning streak they're on. They had 2 losses this season. Came in back-to-back games. 10-point loss to Kindred and a 3-point loss to Stanley. Obviously, since then, 8 straight wins. On the other side, 5-2 over their last 7 for Trenton. It's been obviously a good run for each side. That's how it's got to be when you get to this point in the season. 3 ball, no good. And a defensive board for Trenton. So limiting 1-shot possession. Obviously, a big-time key for the Tigers. Clary's back on the other end, no good.
Yeah, second straight possession. There's been a lot of contact there on Clarice, and the 8th grader's going to have to adjust, fight through it. The officials letting them go.
A whistle, and back the other way we go. They caught a travel violation that time on the Hawkers.
How good has the defense been for Kenmare to start this game? I mean, they've been pretty much lights out defensively over the 8-game winning streak you just talked about, and you're seeing why so much length. They don't give you a whole lot of space, because they can bother you at all 5 positions by switching everything.
She likes to shoot from downtown, can't get that one to go. An offensive board, but then a quick turnover. Talk about the history between these 2 teams. Trenton and Kenmare, they met 2 out of the last 3 years, this being the 3rd time in 4 years. As Strokeland cannot get it to fall. Back in 2020, Trenton won 45-29 here in the Region 8 tournament. Back in 21, Kenmare 52-50, again going down to the line. So again, the 3rd time in 4 years that these 2 teams have met here in the Region 8 tournament.
And it's a funny dynamic because these Kenmare players, they were in those games, but on the other side, this is a mostly new Trenton team. So sort of one-sided in terms of the experience in this rivalry. Of course, these 2 schools historically some of the best in Region 8.
Madison Moline back to the line. You talk about experience, Jake. There's not a single senior here for the Tigers, and I think they're, I don't want to say a big shot, but Coach did say, Coach Turkowski talked to him, he said, I was not sure if we'd be able to get to 10 wins, and 14 wins is quite the pleasant surprise. So even to be here, obviously they feel like in the grand scheme of things, it's a win for their season, but they feel like what they bring to the table defensively, they should be able to challenge Kenmare. Obviously, that really hasn't been the case here in the first quarter.
Well, Trenton comes in with a ton of belief, though. They played very well against Partial in that district.
For the Tigers, and I think they're you'll have it at the side. As we see too many times, the term has really been the detriment.
And Turcotte says
outside, a long-range 3. That one is good. How about it for Coach Jay Miller? All Region 8 selection last season. Get started on board here this afternoon.
and I'd be surprised to see her from that Teton logo in the middle of the before this game is over. She's limitless range, always a green light. Got to find 11 on the perimeter and take away her space. That's backcourt.
And an over and back violation called on Isabel Hip. as a timeout called again by Coach Turcotte. Minute 55 remaining here in the first quarter of play, and the Hawkers up by 14.
At NCC, we believe that community is all about making your home a better place, whether it's by providing top-of-the-line internet, phone, and video services, or offering scholarships for local students. We're proud to invest in the communities that invest in us.
I think you have organizations within the community such as NCC that are willing to put resources back into the community. It just helps with. Without communities, there would be no NCC.
I'm being hacked. My phone's been locked from ransomware. Seriously.
What are all these pop-ups?
This is so frustrating.
We're under attack. Someone please help me.
Download the MyRTCnet app today.
Beck knows that students are a big part of the communities we serve. That's why we've been providing scholarships for students for more than 25 years. If you're a Beck Fiber customer or the definitive one, apply for one of 4 scholarships by logging on to Beck.coop. Again, don't wait. Deadlines are quickly approaching. That's Beck.coop under the rewarding students section. 14-0, the Hawkers of Kenmare Bowbells lead the Trenton Tigers here. About a minute 50 remaining in the first quarter play. Brett Hawkins, Jake Herman, here on Beck. We're happy to be joining you, and hopefully you joining us for the rest of the day. Game 1 of 4 here in the opening day of the Region 8 Girls Basketball Tournament. The Tigers of Trenton have already burned 2 early timeouts here in the first quarter. Still have yet to find a bucket. And it's been because of this swarming, suffocating, whatever adjective you want to use here, of this Kenmare defense.
And right now they got more turnovers than shot attempts, so can't be so picky.
Mid-range shot, as that one no good. In transition, 4 on 2. Strokeland gives it down to Allforth, and a tough layup that time. The center down to the power forward, equals 2.
Allforth was huge for them in that region title game last year. Played down the stretch against Newtown, helped Kenmare get that win. She's young, but she's experienced.
Larry, she'll finally get them started. A big-time 3 from the 8th grade. It's the Region 8 Girls Basketball Tournament here on Beck, brought to you by Nutrient Ag, Newtown Jack and Jill, and Montana Dakota Utilities. Reminding you to always call before you dig. Corner 3 on the other end, and answer right back. That time courtesy of Alexa Vardy.
Yeah, good ball movement against the 2-3 zone. Kenmare, they can both spread the floor and attack the paint when they have the 2 bigs on the floor.
About a 4.5-second differential between the shot and the game clock. Carries maybe a bit of a heat check that time. Now with the shot clock turned off, Kenmare will still push it. As Coach Michael Zimmer in his 60th season, going to let them run their offense. 10 on the clock, Allforth almost traveled. Instead of kick out. 3 on the clock. This one's Strokeland, and she bakes it in at the buzzer. Sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good, and Kenmare has been both here in the first quarter of play, 22-3, as we head into the second quarter on the other side here on Beck.
At NCC, we believe that community is all about making your home a better place, whether it's by providing top-of-the-line internet, phone, and video services, or offering scholarships for local students. We're proud to invest in the communities that invest in us.
I think when you have organizations within the community such as NCC that are willing to put resources back into the community, it just helps with growth. Without communities, there would be no NCC.
I'm being hacked. My phone's been locked from ransomware. Seriously.
What are all these pop-ups?
This is so frustrating.
We're under attack. Someone please help me.
Download the MyRTCnet app today.
Back here on Beck Sports, beginning the second quarter between the Hawkers of Kenmare and the Tigers of Trenton. Raining breeze wasn't there in the first quarter of play from the Kenmare Bowbells Hawkers. And Well, these replays are brought to you by All True Health Systems and Snert Stopper. Make sure you use promo code BACK10 for 10% off. Snert Stopper seals gaps in your garage and home up to 3 inches. Kevlar reinforced, can save up to 40% on heat and energy costs, and is made in the U.S. of A. Again, you can go to snertstopper.com right now and use promo code BACK10 for 10% off. And a backdoor that time. The first 2 points of the second quarter, courtesy of Isabel Hippie.
And you wonder if quick looks like that, the backdoor cuts are going to be the answer for Trenton, because right now, Kenmare is just taking away all their options in the half-court game. Trenton's not a team that really likes to push the pace, but I wonder if Coach Turcotte will tell them to do that now.
And he holds the thumb down as a play call, as Larry's is going to bring it across the timeline. Gives it over to Hippie, maybe not necessarily ready for that. Only 3 points in the first quarter from the Tigers, courtesy of Clary's. This time a hook shot, no good, far right. As Kenmare, they got a chance to push the tempo wide open in transition, but Clary's there on the defense, able to contest the shot, and then that one out of bounds on the Hawkers. So the Tigers with a good transition and defensive possession. Megan Clary's, where's number one? One's the number one position on the floor, if you will, at the point guard. Shooting 41% from the field, averages 6 steals a game, 19 points, 6.5 boards, 4 assists. Leads the team in every single statistic except for blocks. And much better than expected as an 8th grader, according to the 25th year head coach, Bob Turcotte. This one hits the bottom of the backboard, a whole 4th crash. Kenmare, they love to run an up-tempo offense, which is what we've seen here today. This one a double team, a lot of contact, and a foul call. So we'll see at the line. Alexa Varney, she had a big 3 there in the waning moments of the first quarter.
Yeah, Varney's one of those tough bench players for Kenmare. Talking to Coach Zimmer before the game, he said that Varney has never seen a challenge that she's backed down from. Really improved this year as that 6th man for Kenmare.
Looking at these two teams, Trenton shoots 35% from the field. Obviously, shot a lot less than that in that first quarter. But Jake, something that Kenmare does well, we talked about their defense all day. They hold their opponents to just 28% from the field. Their defense and offense, for that part, obviously not right there. A little broadcast from Jake has been clicking on all cylinders. What have you seen that has really provided the spark, if you will, on each end of the floor?
I look at Strokeland and Offer in the middle, blocking passing lanes. We've seen 21 and 32, reaching over without fouling and denying those entry passes. Kenmare is keeping Trenton right now on the perimeter. They hit that one, but that's not really where they want to live all day long.
Isabel Hippie. She's been big here in the second quarter. Got 5 points. That's more than the entire Trenton team had in the first quarter. Allforth was wide open, and then the double team attracts the block, and Allforth still get called with a travel violation. So Trenton here in the second quarter outscoring Kenmare 5-0.
And a really nice sequence there for Hippie. Hit the 3 on one end. As you can see, she catches and shoots from the corner, and then on defense, she gets back and helps side and gets the block. Really nice job there by the 8th grader.
Region 8 Girls Basketball Tournament here on Bet, brought to you by Mount Rail Williams and Burt Divide Electric Co-op, State Bank, and Trust of Kenmare, supporting our local community, as well as United Tribes Technical College. As Clary's give it back outside. Hippie thought about a heat check there. This one a right-handed floater. Not enough on it. Kenmare continuing to push the tempo. Trying to get it down the Allforth, but again, active hands by Hippie. She had a block last possession and now a steal this possession.
Yeah, she's picked up her intensity level in a big way. Trenton knows they have to meet the challenge against these more experienced, bigger post players. And it's got to start now.
Hippie, she scored all 5 points as well in the quarter for the Tigers. Mid-range, too much. That shot from Amaya Porshane. Allforth wide open, and that's smooth as silk there from the freshman center.
Yeah, that's what she's so good at, running the floor. I mean, for her size at 5'11", so athletic. Got to keep tabs on 32.
And it's hard to believe she's a freshman, Jake, the way that she plays down there and the post moves that she has.
Yeah, that's that year of experience being on varsity last year, winning a region championship, and that's going against Strokeland every day in practice. It's the old cliche of iron sharpening iron.
Clary's, she's got it on the T-Tones logo. 3 on the shot clock. Got a launch up a 3. That one didn't hit the rim, and that one doesn't either. Maybe should have been a shot clock violation. Kenmare plays on, back the other way. And a very aggressive foul that time from Jada Turcotte. So we'll see at the line yet again, Madison Moline.
Yeah, Turcotte was not going to let Moline get an and one here. Got her money's worth on this foul, sending Moline to the stripe.
First one good. Madison Moline also a senior. Part of the senior class for Kenmare that has just been oh so good over the past 4, even 5 years for those that played varsity as an 8th grader. And a class that will be dearly missed here by Michael Zimmer. The number 2 ranked team here in all of North Dakota in Class B basketball. And Coach Turcotte not afraid to use the timeout. Used his 3rd of the half already here in the 2nd quarter.
At NCC, we believe that community is all about making your home a better place, whether it's by providing top-of-the-line internet, phone, and video services, or offering scholarships for local students. We're proud to invest in the communities that invest in us.
I think when you have organizations within the community such as NCC that are willing to put resources back into the community, it just helps with growth. Without communities, there would be no NCC.
I'm being hacked. My phone's been locked from ransomware. Seriously.
What are all these pop-ups?
This is so frustrating.
We're under attack. Someone please help me.
Download the MyRTCnet app today.
College Save and the Beck Sports Network can partner together for the championship scholarship giveaway. Visit collegesaveforyou.com/basketball or scan the QR code on your screen to register. It's your chance for at least one of 4 $529 College Save scholarships. Register now through March the 10th. Winners announced here in the week of March the 13th. A little miscommunication as Hippie went to cut and Fernholz went to go dish it out. And a turnover that time. Only the 2nd turnover, though, here, Jake, in the 2nd quarter. Trenton had much more than that in the 1st.
Yeah, much better. I think they had 5 in the first 5 minutes of this game. And, you know, that was a play designed to get Hippie open with a look on the perimeter. It was there, but they just couldn't execute it. That's what the length of Kenmare does. You're always thinking about them even when they're not there because of how well they pick up at sort of that half-court line sometimes.
Hawkers on the offensive end. Strokeland back out there on the floor. 35 points in the District 16 championship game. That win coming over Tioga, 60-47. This one, too strong. Strokeland gets the board and gets the second chance bucket. Brenna Strokeland, a Region 8 candidate for Player of the Year. As we mentioned, going to play college basketball at the University of Jamestown.
And her work ethic is so good on the glass, except for the banked-in 3 that ended the 1st quarter. All of her points tonight, second chance points.
Points in the painted area. She averages 14 of those a game, and well, she only averages 18. Is that one a baseline drive courtesy of Josie Fernholz? 8 points a game from her. She's also the only player on this Trenton team that averages at least a block and a steal a game. She's got a block and a half and almost 3 steals a game. The defensive nightmare. Kick outside of the 3. No good. Strokeland yet again, and yet again, second chance points.
Yeah, she's getting whatever she wants down there right now. Already 13 points and nearly going for the All-State return.
Hard of the afternoon here for Kenmare in the Region 8 girls basketball tournament. The quarterfinals are on day 1. Peterson Farm Seed, the premier soybean and corn seed provider for Minnesota. As you get it to stroke, Strickland again inside the painted area. She gets her own ball. Straight points.
I'm sure Brenna would take that so literally, but again, reading her own miss. Game, they came out ready to play today. Bring that pop.
Strickland. A hesitation and a pull-up from the charity stripe. And that time, we'll chase down her own board.
That's the shot you live with if you're Trenton. Force her to shoot from beyond that free throw line.
And as they've been able to score 11 points here in the second quarter, 10 points here in the second quarter, as they trail 22-3. He's steal it. Transition. Stop, pop, and lock. She scored their last 8 points.
Following up a 9-point first quarter with 8 already here in the second.
Extended now. 1-2 zone here for Kenmare. And they went man-to-man. They went zone today, and Strickland ends up with another steal. 2-on-2 equal fast break. She gave it off that time, expecting it back. Instead of dribble around the paint and no good. So the Tigers will have it. They got the last chance for the last shot here in the second quarter. Make sure you stay tuned in here with us for the Giving Hearts Day halftime report on back. And this one, some contact. Strickland almost had her third steal in just as many defensive possessions, but a foul will be called.
Just nothing coming easy in this first half for Trenton. They don't really have that player that's shown they can beat anybody off the dribble consistently. And Kenmare too disciplined to fall for ball fakes and ball reversals.
Tigers trying to run a play. 5, 4. Larry's got to get it off. Pickpocketed here by Strickland, and that one launched at the buzzer. Too short. Up by 21. The number 2 team in the state, the Hawkers, lead the Trenton Tigers here as we head into the halftime break in Wilson.
Beck News is your leader in local. Beck specials and live information for you. Original programming. Exclusive local sports. Beck is local for you. Uncensored topics and uncensored opinions. Unapologetic politics, where all sides are represented. Full episodes online anytime at beck.news. All in one network. Your leader in local, Beck News.
NISC's culture is great in many different aspects. I like that we all have a sense of wanting to help each other out.
NISC actually means what we say. We've got our shared values, our principles of personal development from integrity to all relationships. We stand by those.
There's an encouraging and friendly atmosphere here that it's just kind of fun to be around.
Beck Sports is your leader in local. More excitement, more games, more connections. It's North Dakota Live Sports. Excitement from the front row. Every sport live for you on TV or online at Beck.tv. High school, collegiate, and beyond. Every sport. The full schedule's online at Beck.tv. Your leader in sports. Beck Sports.
folks, it's Kenmare Cafe. I reckon it's time you're due for a hearty meal. So saddle up for the day with one of our hay-busting breakfast homemade soups. Fill your grill at a salad bar, sink your teeth into our famous Kenmare burger and barbecue ribs. Top it off with spoon-rattling pie with a palm roll that's sure to put a smile on even the toughest outlaws. Shake the dirt off the boots each night and warm up with the gang. Tell them about it, Stacy.
I can't wait to see you at the county line.
At the heart of every small town are the people that live there and the businesses that serve them. From sporting events to 4-H, Lions clubs to hospital foundations, Lisette Motors has worked for the past 23 years to make sure the heart of its area small towns continues to be the people. With over 15 employees, Lisette Motors prides itself on small town service with personal attention. Lisette Motors, where our customers send their friends.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, BASF, we create chemistry, Securian Financial Advisors of North Dakota, Giving Hearts Day, and these premier sponsors.
It's time for the Giving Hearts Day Halftime Report. Did you know that Giving Hearts Day is more than just dollars? It's also a place to check out hundreds of volunteer opportunities. Visit givingheartsday.org/volunteer to see if your favorite local charity could use a helping hand.
Back here on Beck Sports, the Giving Hearts Day Halftime Report. Brett Loftus, Jake Herman, game 1 of 4 here in the Region 8 first round. And the number 2 team in the state handling business, the Kenmare Bowells Hawkers, by 21 at the half, and it's really been about the post play of Strokeland and Alford there in that first half, Jake.
Yeah, they combined for 18 points in that first half. Very efficient from the field, and they've been finding ways to hurt Trenton from the inside out. Their offensive rebounds, creating looks for the three-point shooters, and it's been a balanced performance from the number 2 team in the state.
Yeah, Kenmare's done a great job, and really she can't miss today, and that's 2-1 in the white, burgundy, and yellow. Miss Brenna Strokeland, I mean, she's been phenomenal. We talked about how good she's been coming into this game. She's been even better in this game. In 14 minutes played, 14 points. She's got 3 boards, 2 assists, as well as 3 steals. She's been everywhere. And again, making another case for an all-region, perhaps an all-state campaign here this season. On the other side for Trenton, again, just haven't been really able to get going offensively. They did a little bit there in that second quarter, Jake, but still lacking just a bit.
Yeah, they got a nice spark from Isabel Hippie in that second quarter, but you know when they struggle to shoot the ball from outside against this Trenton team, it's tough because the Hawkers do a really good job of blocking passing lanes. They have really good gap control. You almost have to hit a couple threes to open up those passing lanes, and those haven't been falling for Trenton. It's kind of been a tough half for them.
Other side, we will have the second half of play here in the first game of the day in the Region 8 Girls Basketball Tournament on Beck Sports.
Bismarck Central, 4800.
4800, go ahead.
Requesting social services on-call team.
Stand by. 4800, social services requesting additional information.
You can advise social services that we have an 18-month-old female who was in a residence with a mother, now being transported to medical care for overdose.
Tonight, the high school basketball game at the 3.
Howdy, folks. It's Kenmare Cafe. I reckon it's time you're due for a hearty meal. So saddle up for the day with one of our hay-busting breakfast homemade soups. Fill your grill at a salad bar. Sink your teeth into our famous Kenmare burger and barbecue ribs. Top it off with spoon-rattling pie with a palm roll that's sure to put a smile on even the toughest outlaws. Shake the dirt off the boots each night and warm up with the gang. Tell them about it, Stacy.
I can't wait to see you at the county line.
NISC's culture is great in many different aspects. I like that we all have a sense of wanting to help each other out.
NISC actually means what we say. We've got our shared values, our principles of personal development from integrity to all relationships. We stand by those.
There's an encouraging and friendly atmosphere here that it's just kind of fun to be around.
My name is Rich Shook, and I lost my best friend in a grain bin accident. Some of the emotional scars that when these incidences happen just resonates throughout the community like dropping a rock in a pond. I guess I'll never forget. At least the last moments we shared. That's why I think this is so important to get out there to people, is people think that it can happen to you. And it can. The time it would take you to just kiss a loved one and your life is over. I believe it's unacceptable.
This message provided by North Dakota Farmers Union.
At the heart of every small town are the people that live there and the businesses that serve them. From sporting events to 4-H, Lions clubs to hospital foundations, Bassett Motors has worked for the past 23 years to make sure the heart of its area small towns continues to be the people. With over 15 employees, Bassett Motors prides itself on small town service with personal attention. Bassett Motors, where our customers send their friends.
Beck TV is the 2022 best local TV station. For the second consecutive year, thank you again for voting us the best local TV station in the Bismarck Tribune's Best of the Best contest. We strive to continue to broadcast the most live and local sporting events in the region. Plus, we are the largest producer of uncensored news and opinion shows. Thank you again. Beck TV is the leader in local.
Today's game is presented by the following: Dakota Bank, Peterson Farms Seed, Forebears, Nutrient A, Newtown Jack and Jill, Montana Dakota Utilities, Montreal Williams and Burke Divide Electric Cooperative, and United Tribes Technical College.
Halftime stats before we get in the second half here in Williston. Jake, what stands out to you there quickly between the Tigers and the Honkers?
Trenton's been stuck on the perimeter. They haven't gone to the free throw line yet, and that's because Kenmare's done such a good job of protecting the paint. Meanwhile, the Honkers, they've been efficient from the outside. They're creating good looks with their offensive rebounding. This is a Kenmare team that is going against the Trenton team. I'm going to say a Trenton team that allows only 34 points per game this season. And look at that number in Kenmare's column in the first half.
I got to give a big shout out. T-Money back in studio doing graphics for us. He took those stats himself. So shout out T-Money for your halftime statistics here on Beck. Jake Herman alongside me. I'm Brett Loftus. Second half of play getting ready to begin here on Beck. And it's brought to you by the Steffes Group. Check out steffesgroup.com for a full list of upcoming auctions or to contact a representative near you. Game 1 of 4 here in the first round of the Region 8 Girls Basketball Tournament. It's brought to you by Nutrient Ag, Newtown Jack and Jill in Montana, Dakota Utilities, reminding you to always call before you dig. The Honkers, number 2 team in the state, they played like it there in the first half. The Tigers, just 13 points, 3 of those coming in the first quarter, 10 in the second quarter. Brenna Strokeland, she's been playing like that all-state player she was a season ago, and she's played like it all year. She had 18 points, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 assists there in that first half. And an early 3 from the Honkers, no good. Megan Clary, she's going to bring it across the timeline. 2 of 7 from the field in the first half. Both of those field goal makes were from downtown. She's got 6 points. Averages 19 on the season. She's going to launch up one right here, just a little bit short. It's kind of been the tell of the tape this afternoon for the Tigers, Mr. Hunt.
Yeah, settling for some low percentage shots because of what Kenmare's doing defensively. And they've been locked in. We talked to Coach Zimmer I asked him, is it tough sometimes to come out and play that first game of the tournament? He said, absolutely not. There's no waiting around. We get to show up. We get locked in. And that's coming to fruition here for him.
Kenmare pushing it back the other way. And give this to Strokeland. Cannot get it home. Strokeland in that first half just north of points. Took over the basketball game. And if he was alone,
yeah, Trenton had, I believe, the first 6 points of quarter number 2. And then after that, Kenmare sort of regained their foot. It was a better quarter defensively for Trenton. They got to get back to that.
Pump fake was disgusting down low. Got an even 20.
How about a little up and under? That's the kind of footwork that she's been perfecting all season long, really over the last 5 years.
Continuing to swing around the perimeter. As Jake mentioned, Tigers just really haven't been able to get it down low. That 3, no good, and tipped off of a honker.
Kenmare's daring Trenton to try and shoot their way back into this because, well, what does a long 3 mean? It means a long rebound, and then that means Kenmare's off to the races. So if the Tigers are unable to shoot their way out, they're going to have to find some ways to get the ball inside. Right now, nothing doing on this inbounds play. That's 5 seconds.
Yeah, 5-second violation called here on the Tigers. Don't forget to stick with us up next. We'll have Newtown and Stanley game 2 of the afternoon on deck.
Yes, our coach Heath Hetzel in the crowd. Chuck Wells here as well. Those 2 coaches watching that man's team, Mike Zimmer, and thinking, this is who we have to play if we win.
The Hawkers, they have played up and down the floor. Love to get out and run. And everything has been clicking on both sides of the floor as well. As all 4 that time had it tipped away. It'll still stay down here with Kenmare. Teo Allforth. Kind of following in the footsteps of her older cousin in Brenna Strokeland, and just a freshman. That mid-range shot smooth as silk from Madison Moline. She had a good first half, able to get the line a good bit. That'll be her first field goal make here in the 3rd quarter.
And I love what Moline's done on the defensive end as well.
Cleary's. She's just had a hard time finding a rhythm offensively. And as an offensive board that time from the Tigers, just their 3rd of the contest. Swing through the lane, too hard off the glass, but a foul call. So to the line, we will see Josie Pernover.
And this is their first trip to the free throw line all day long. Team Money showed us the stats at the half. Trent not doing enough to force the issue. You know, Coach Turcotte told them at halftime to try and get to the hole. Score without that clock move.
Yeah, an incredible staff we got here with us today. Scotty Lurch and Patrick Conte on camera. We got Fred Jenkins back directing in the studio, as well as Team Money running graphics. Game 1 of 4 here on Beck in the Region 8 tournament. Second free throw is good that time for the Tigers.
You're going to wave that off, actually, Brett. She stepped over the line.
That's never a good film. So what would have been a 20-point game is now a 21-point game. Tigers found themselves trailing by as much as 23 in this game. And it'll be back up now to 25 as they wave both of those free throws off. So it's a 22-point lead, and then that three-pointer good. 41-16, and a timeout called here by Coach Turcotte and the Tigers. Kenmare, they're rolling here in the opening round of the Region 8 tournament.
At NCC, we believe that community is all about making your home a better place, whether it's by providing top-of-the-line internet, phone, and video services, or offering scholarships for local students. We're proud to invest in the communities that invest in us.
I think when you have organizations within the community such as NCC that are willing to put resources back into the community, it just helps with growth. Without communities, there would be no NCC.
I'm being hacked. My phone's been locked from ransomware. Seriously.
What are all these pop-ups? This is so frustrating.
We're under attack. Someone please help me.
Download the MyRTCnet app today.
Beck knows that students are a big part of the communities we serve. That's why we've been providing scholarships for students for more than 25 years. If you're a Beck Fiber customer or the definitive one, apply for one of 4 scholarships by logging on to Beck.coop. Don't wait, deadlines are quickly approaching. That's Beck.coop and look under the rewarded students section. 41-16, the defending Region 8 champions, back-to-back Region 8 champions, I should say. And the Honkers of Kenmare Bowbells lead here in the third quarter of play over the Trenton Tigers. We'll get our first tie-up today, and the possession arrow favors Trenton. Brett Loftus, Jake Herman here on the campus of Williston State College, inside of what they refer to as the Well here on Terry Olsen Court.
You talk about the well. Kenmare, has had the ability to just turn off the faucet in this game. I mean, this is twice now when the Tigers have gone on an extended drought. Just nothing doing against this defense.
Only 3 points here in the third quarter of play for Trenton. Kenmare keeping few of their starters out there still on the floor. Brenna Stroker, most notable of sorts. All for triple teamed in the post. Stroker has it at the elbow. Down a little cousin all for him, and no good. Those two have been able to connect today for a few buckets, that time in and out.
You mentioned the cousins. What a family tree that is. Alford, as well as the Strokelins, the Millers tying in as well, all the way up the Graff family tree. What a basketball family, Kenmare.
Now, a little Alford yet again. Can I get it to go? Brenna Strokelin, to speak of her, that was her 5th steal of the game. She has been everywhere today. I mean, in an opening round game, as kind of mentioned in the pregame show, maybe Kenmare, you don't want to slip and fall here against a really good Trenton squad. They played incredible defense all season. Kenmare has come out, they've played their basketball game, and they've just done a phenomenal job. As that one tipped yet again, and a collision, and a foul will be called. Looks like they're going to have a Bree Crest on that one.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about this game as a potential banana peel, that early start. We saw Newtown have a little trouble as the 1 seed in this early game last year in this tournament. And not so much for Kenmare. They came out and made their statement. They played their game. They've not had to use Kate Zimmer too much, getting some rest. Hoping she'll be available later in this tournament.
This one blocked by Stroker. That'll be her first block of the afternoon. Everywhere, 2-1 has been for Kenmare.
It doesn't matter if it's a pass, it doesn't matter if it's a shot, it's a no-fly zone as far as 21 is concerned.
Tigers drive down this time, left hand, and if you're even, they're leaving. A foul call as Josie Fernholz goes to the line. She's done a really good job today, Jake. When she's got on the floor, she's been able to drive to the basket, find open teammates. It's just been a lack of consistency, I would say, for the offense around her in the Tigers.
Yeah, and for Fernholz, going to be a member of the currently non-existent senior class for Trenton next year. Obviously, one of a few juniors on this roster. This is a moment for her to sort of step up and lead the team, go out on a positive note, even though it doesn't look like they're going to be able to overcome the number 2 team in the state today.
5th straight tournament appearance here for Trenton. Trying not to lose in the first round. That one waved off and a foul call. This time they're going to have Amaya Cornshade.
And Moline thought she was headed to the free throw line. They actually called that one on the floor.
Strogan gave that one to the middle, poked away. Still that time from Isabel Hippie. So Jada Turkout, another junior here on this squad, dealing with a bruised knee issue. She started the game today, but has played limited minutes. Is back on the other end, Kenmare, too strong.
Yeah, just a little rush that time from Vardy on the finish. Had some time there to set her feet, go up strong.
Region 8 Girls Basketball Tournament here on Beck. Brought to you by Mount Rail Williams and Burke Divide Electric Co-op, State Bank and Trust of Kenmare, supporting our local community, as well as United Tribes Technical College. So the Hawkers have it right back. A bit of back and forth action here over these past few moments. Neither team been able to get back started. There have been no field goals scored in the last 2.5 minutes here inside of the well. Struggling trying to change that, not able to do so. So Hippie got the board. Both teams settling back down. And Turcotte wants to turn down the tempo. Tigers at this point trying to form some kind of comeback, and that's the way it starts with Isabel Hippie.
That's the play they tried to run out of a timeout earlier in the game. They threw it out of bounds. That time they run it to perfection, setting up Hippie for the catch-and-shoot try.
And she'll get the steal. That's her third of the game. She'll be trapped and falls down to the floor. However, they'll call a push that time on Crest.
Hard to believe that Hippie's just an 8th grader, the way she's able to catch and shoot over a great defender in Madison Moline. That's pure.
Tigers got to continue to find her. And off the floor right now, Megan Clavers. Hippie will have it at the right wing. She's been the 6th man this season for the Tigers. This one intercepted, that time by Moline. Pushing it down the floor. Kenmare loves to do that. Moline, don't leave her open. And cannot get it to fall. However, Strickland, another board and another bucket. She's got 22 points and 8 rebounds here tonight.
She knows where the shot's going to miss, even when it takes 2-3 bounces off the rim. That's experience paying off, and Trenton's had no answer.
22 of the 43 points. I mean, just absolutely phenomenal has Brenna Strickland been. This time, entangled up was Madison Moline. They'll say she was in the act of shooting the 2 shots at the charity stripe.
Yeah, nice crossover dribble to set it up. Then she tried to get it back to the left. Elena St. Pierre off the bench was having none of it.
Replay brought to you by All Shootout Systems. First one good from Moline.
Check that was number 20, Ferdholz, not 10, St. Pierre. St. Pierre actually out with an injury today. Hope to see her back next season for the Tigers.
Second free throw, also good. Madison Moline, again, they didn't get to the charity stripe today. She likes to shoot it from downtown. A lot of 3-and-D action from her, but obviously been able to drive. Throw a lot of contact from this Trenton defense. Clary's back out there. No foul call that time as we push back to the other end. Tiger faithful a bit disgruntled as the Hawkers threw the double team. Moline that time didn't need the foul call to get to it.
No, and didn't get the travel call either, did Trenton. Moline got away with a few extra steps, but looked good on the finish.
There's a drive, a runner, in and out, gets her own board. Tigers, they'll take a 3 of their own. No good. Clary's another board.
Gotta put it up.
And not able to do so. Some good defense there from Kenmare to end the quarter. Up by 27, heading into the final frame here of the opening round of the Region 8 tournament.
At NCC, we believe that community is all about making your home a better place, whether it's by providing top-of-the-line internet, phone, and video services, or offering scholarships for local students. We're proud to invest in the communities that invest in us.
I think when you have organizations within the community such as NCC that are willing to put resources back into the community, it just helps with growth. Without communities, there would be no NCC.
I'm being hacked. My phone's been locked from ransomware. Seriously.
What are all these pop-ups? This is so frustrating.
We're under attack. Someone please help me.
Download the MyRTCnet app today.
Do rising heat costs have you down? Well, stop them with the Snurch Stopper Premium Garage Door Seal. Not only does Snurch Stopper seal gaps up to 3 inches, keeping snow and wind from invading your garage and home, but it can save you up to 40% in heating costs. Beck Viewers can save 10% right now by using promo code BECK10 at SnurchStopper.com. That's promo code BEK10 at SnurchStopper.com. Start having stop it with Snurch Stopper. Region 8 Girls Basketball Tournament here on Beck Sports. The quarterfinals, the first round here is between the Kenmare Bobels Hawkers and the Trenton Tigers. Brett Loftus and Jake Herman here with you. Game 1 of 4 on the day. There's a foul be called here early on the Tigers. Tournament here on Beck, brought to you by Dakota Bank. Dakota Bank is here for you. Peterson Farm Seed, the premier soybean and corn seed provider for Minnesota and North Dakota, as well as 4 Bears. at the line. You see Alexa Vorty is the first one, no good. Brenna Strokeland, Jake, we were talking about it during that timeout. She has 22 points. Trenton only has 20. What a night. Or an afternoon, I should say, it's been. She'll get involved with the tie-up, and the possession arrow favors Trenton.
And what I think makes Strokeland so valuable is the type of performance she's put in today. More than half of her points coming on second. Chances. Not too many players have that kind of ability.
Three will be partial and Powers lane in the nightcap tonight with Oak and Mander. All right, here on Beck. Your fourth quarter opening round games here in the Region 8 tournament. That one a foul away from the play, and they're going to nab Brenna Strokeland with the offensive foul.
Yeah, all those teams you mentioned, Stanley's the only one that's beat stronger than they did back in January. Obviously, they had those two losses, a little bit emotionally distraught by the having her back, even if she's not 100%, has made a difference. They've refound their defensive identity, and Coach Mike Zimmer has to be pleased with the way they've come out and made their statement to start this tournament.
Hawkers get the block, and is back on the other end. An open three-pointer, no good. Another offensive board, Maline, a runner from the charity stripe, no good. Talk about Kate Zimmer. Saw her start the game, played meaningful minutes there in the first quarter. She has not played here yet in the second half.
And I think that's wise from Coach Zimmer, knowing that Kate's maybe one tweak or one false step away from having to sit out the rest of the season. They want her presence whenever possible, so they're going to save her for the next round where it looks like they're headed.
This one sails out of bounds, and it'll be Kenmare basketball yet again. Region 8 Girls Basketball Tournament brought to you by Nutrient Ag, Newtown Jack and Jill, Montana Dakota Utilities, reminding you to always call before you do. A runner on the other end. Too much sauce, but yet another Kenmare offensive rebound. Kenmare Bobels have been so good on the boards today. All for it. A nasty move that time. Putting them in the dryer machine down there. It debated it.
How do you stop that? One step and a little lefty scoop finish. That's pretty.
Glarus drive down, blocked that time by Strokeland. Brenna Strokeland, 5 steals, 2 blocks, 3 assists, 8 rebounds, and 22 points. And Coach Turcotte is going to burn a timeout, and we're going to take it with him here on Beck Sports.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Val Bank, BASF, we create chemistry, Securian Financial Advisors of North Dakota, Giving Hearts Day, and these premier sponsors.
I'm being hacked. My phone's been locked from ransomware. Seriously?
What are all these pop-ups? This is so frustrating.
We're under attack. Someone please help me.
Download the MyRTCnet app today.
Welcome back to Williston, North Dakota. We're here on the campus of Williston State College, inside of the well here on Beck Sports. Brett Loftus and Jake Herman. This has been, as expected for some, the number 2 team in the state of North Dakota. The Kenmare Bobels Hawkers lead it here by 29 in the fourth quarter over the Trenton Tigers, and a 5-second violation after the timeout by Coach Turcotte. It's just been a long string of things that have not went their way today.
No, and this is not the same Trenton team that earned their place here. They have not played their best game today, but going forward from this, the future is bright. No seniors on this team. You know they're going to learn a lot from this experience and hope to get their revenge next year.
Taya Alford, she adds another bucket. And the younger cousin of both Ann and Brenna Stroker, all three of those first cousins. Speaking of Ann Stroker, she's out there on the floor for the first time today. Future stays bright for Kenmare. Losing one of probably arguably the best senior class in the history of the program. So some younger players are going to step up in those roles and be perhaps just as good. As that time, perhaps a travel violation. That time blocked by Brenna Stroker. 1 second on the shot clock, and that'll be a 35-second violation.
That's the type of defensive sequence that you frame if you're Kenmare. You force the 5-second violation out of the timeout, follow that up with a shot clock violation. Coach Zimmer saw that and said, yep, I think I can sit my starters the rest of the way.
Yeah, as we'll see, Brenna Stroker take a seat. Tate Alford's still out there. She's got some meaningful playing time today, as well as Michelle Miller. Michelle Miller, a starter. She's the only one left out there on the floor here for Kenmare. And Stroker in the right wing. Brenna Ann and Taya Alford, also phenomenal volleyball players, actually led the Honkers to the Class B state volleyball tournament this past season as well. As that one falls short, the rebound by the Tigers. So Kenmare not lacking in athletes in any sport for that matter. Honkers are going to be dialed in for the next couple of years. But so is Trenton, as Jake talked about. Megan Clary's just as an 8th grader, averaging 19 a game. You got to be excited about the future here for the Tigers. All four, she's got 4 straight here for Kenmare. But, I mean, Trenton, you got to be excited. I mean, led by Bob Turcotte. He's in his 25th season. Led by a legend. It's just been one of those deals today. Kind of ran into the wrong team at the right time here in Kenmare. It looks like we have an injury down there on the floor, as appears to be a Tiger down. As 2 of the Honkers check on. As while they check on that Tiger, we're going to take a break here on back. Pardon me, keep it here. As and Tiger's going to be helped off of the floor. Cordelia Gribniak, as looked like she took a tumble there on that right knee, right ankle area.
You never want to see that in the final 4 minutes of a season. Freshman who's appeared in now 7 games on the year. Wishing her the best.
This one on the floor. Just the 4th offensive rebound for the Tigers today. Region 8 Girls Basketball Tournament on deck, brought to you by Mount Brill Williams and Burke Divide Electric Co-op, State Bank and Trust of Kenmare, supporting our local community, as well as United Tribes Technical College. Kenmare trying to get some players out there. Don't see a lot of time. And Strokeland, she stepped up big when Kate Zimmer went down this season. As that one will be blocked, but still stay with the Honkers.
Plenty of support for this Trenton team. They know that this group will be back here. Obviously, they'll look back at that close game against Marshall in the district semifinals and maybe think what could have been if they could have avoided Kenmare until a little bit later in this tournament, but they can still take a lot of growth away from this experience.
I'll have to disagree with you, though, Jake. I don't think you look back at the past. I think, and I'm sure Coach Turcotte would agree with us, in order to be the best, you have to beat the best. And this is the cards they were dealt. And obviously, I think this will be a good experience for a lot of these young players on this team, including that young lady right there, Megan Clary, who cannot convert. It's a very good experience by a lot of these players to have to face such an incredible Class B girls basketball team, perhaps one of the very best in the land, and a Kenmare. There's a 3 answer back on the other end. That one courtesy of Carson Blackton-Shocker.
A little playoff experience from some of the players on the end of the bench who have worked so hard in practice all year long for this Kenmare team, getting the chance to show out here in the tournament.
Again, up next, you got 30 seconds remaining in this one. This Clary's a 3, no good. just maybe a quick preview into Newtown and Stanley up next Tuesday.
Well, you know with Newtown, the green light is always on. They're going to play a 2-2-1 press, and their goal is to turn you over. So what does Stanley have to do? Keep their composure and make it a half-court game. It'll be a fun clash of styles coming up next.
We'll have that one shortly after the conclusion of this one. Ann Strokeland, mid-range shot, no good. And she'll get another offensive rebound and get 2 points stuff off. Don't forget to stick around here on back after this one, as we'll have our Farmers Union Insurance post-game show, as well as our Jerome's Collision Center player of the game. Player of the game candidates. Obviously the biggest being Brenna Strokeland with her afternoon. As the Hawkers will find it. 4.5-second differential here.
I mean, what a luxury it is to come out here first and make a statement like this. Not only does it send a message to everybody else in this tournament, but now the Hawkers, they can put their feet up, relax, maybe not go outside. It's a little windy and cold, but they'll be watching some basketball and getting themselves ready for tomorrow.
Kenmare will move to 21-2 on the season. As Trenton, they will finish the year off at 14-9. As the Hawkers are going to hold it here. It looks like it the right way, trying to get a steal. The Tigers do late, but the final here from Williston, 58-20. Up next, our Farmers Union Insurance postgame show on Beck.
It's time for the Farmers Union Insurance postgame show. For all of your insurance needs, contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent or go to FUMIC.com.
Welcome into the Farmers Union Insurance post-game show here on Beck. For all your insurance needs, contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent or go to www.fumic.com. Mr. Jake Herman, Kenmare, they played like the number 2, perhaps, should I say number 1 team in the state here this afternoon.
They showed why. They're on a 9-game winning streak. Defensive intensity start to finish. They only allowed 7 points in the second half, 0 in the fourth quarter.
Just up-tempo, played their game, stuck within themselves. And up next, we'll figure out the biggest reason of that on your Jerome's Collision Center player of the game.
Today's play of the game is brought to you by Jerome's Collision Center. At Jerome's Collision Center, we take care of everything. That includes insurance. You'll have peace of mind knowing the work will be done right, and you'll be back on the road in no time at all.
Your Jerome's Collision Center player of the game is none other than Brenna Strokeland. The senior center went for 22 points, 8 rebounds, 5 steals, 2 blocks, and 3 assists. And perhaps what was one of her best games of the season, a stat sheet stuffer, which she always is. A senior leader, communicates the most of any player with Coach Michael Zimmer. She had a night to remember here in game 1 of 4 in the opening round of the Region 8 girls basketball tournament here in Williston. Up next, we'll have game number 2 between Newtown and Stanley. Stick around for that one in about 20 minutes here on Beck.